Well, it was good while it lasted, Broncos Country. We had a 2-game win streak going on. No, 3-game win streak going on. But all good things, I suppose, must come to an end as the Denver Broncos flubbed it up in a big way at home against the Chargers this last Sunday. And that is on the beginning of a very short week for this team as we play on primetime Thursday night football this week. What can we be hopeful for? And how are we feeling after that loss on Sunday? What are we feeling in general, Broncos Country? That's what we're here to talk about. This is the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network and on MHRT Network. Let's go.
Smooth, the pins to chew, breaking down plays about to debut. Never pride in every view, nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Bright lights of my heart in our view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. From draft picks to game reviews, celebrating wins and the loss and the clues. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. No orange and blue.
Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
What is up, Broncos Country? And how are you doing, Orange and Blue crew? Welcome to another edition of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network and on MHRT Network. We're glad to have you here. I am the Mile High Viking, Johnny Baki, and with me, as always, my cousin, my childhood best friend, Jay, the Denver Dream Weaver.
Heidi, Heidi, ho. How are you tonight?
I tried to give you a real like build up there. I was like trying to get you pumped, and you're just like, Heidi, Heidi, ho.
Heidi, ho. Next Monday, Monster Truck Rally.
Dude, you're like a damn depressed Ned Flanders. Like, what the hell?
Well, do you blame me? What kind of a game was that Sunday? Low vibes for the Bo Nix crowd. I feel like more and more the Bo Nix favorables are like the Drew Lock, gang that we had for quite some time. There are some people this week, Johnny, for the first time this week, turning on Bo Nix, and I'm going to call him out on this show.
Oh, no, boy. Oh, boy. By the way, how's my volume? Do I sound all right?
Yep. A-okay.
Wunderbar. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for another edition of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network and on MHRT Network. If you haven't, if you're watching this for the very first time or you have not already, please jump on over to Orange and Blue Network, like, subscribe, share, comment on YouTube, X, Facebook. Maybe check us out. Check out the audio version of every one of our podcasts everywhere where you listen to your favorites. Also, if you're watching this on Orange and Blue, jump on over to MHRT Network, like, subscribe, share, comment on YouTube, X, Facebook, Twitch. Hell, MHRT is even on Instagram. So let's get to it, guys. Help us out. All right. Let's just get the dirty laundry out of the way. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way first.
Housekeeping.
What say you? Housekeeping. Okay. Guys, we would be remiss if we didn't give some love to the sponsor of tonight's show. Make sure you check them out. The link is in the bio below. It is Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend at dubby.gg. Jump on over. Check that out. Dubby comes in a multitude of delicious, delicious flavors. It's got enough caffeine to kickstart your day, but it doesn't give you the jitters or the crash later. That's because Dubby, every single cup of Dubby has 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine in it. However, there is no sugar There is no calories. There's no maltodextrin. There's no fillers. There's no artificial colors. Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. It contains nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, and then nootropics, including their patented nootropic called Neurofactor. That helps keep you sharp throughout your day, but without getting the jitters or the crash later. What better way to get a dub? And since we were starved of a dub this week, you need a dub, Broncos Country. So jump on over dubby.gg, get yourself the dub, and I'm going to make that dub even sweeter by giving you code to NRWOB10. That's NRWOB10 to punch in at the checkout. That's going to get you 10% off your order. You heard me, 10% off your order for Dubby. It's good stuff. It's great stuff. We appreciate them sponsoring the show. Thank you to Dubby. And I'm out. All right. Jay, do you have merch up for us today? Or
Yes, sir. Give me one hot sec here.
One hot sec. Well, your hot second is over. I'm kidding.
Well,
I don't think that's what they want to see.
No.
Oh God, no! What are we seeing?
It's just bad stuff here. Give me a sec as I.
Hey, you know what? I've got one up. I can throw up real quick.
Here we are.
Here we go. He's got it.
The fall feels. The leaves are turning. It's cold. I'm cold. It's actually nice to feel that, but I've got highlighted some sweats, Johnny. Some sweatpants that you can live in. I'm talking 3+ days. But nice designs. 3+ days you can get out of these. 3 different colors. Good stuff on, the men bottoms section of the merch store. So,
oh dang! Well, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go get me some, but I will only live in them for 1 day at a time before I wash them. Because that's what civilized people do.
That's rookie stuff there, John.
I don't even want to hear about the cold, all right? Because it dropped to like 34 degrees here last night in Tennessee. And my furnace is out. And my fireplace, the chimney is clogged. So I've literally spent my entire afternoon after I got off work trying, and right now I can't afford an HVAC to come in. So I've spent my entire day trying to fix my own HVAC unit so that I can get some heat going in my house for my wife and my kids. So I want to hear about the cold from all of y'all. Anyway.
You can do it!
All right. I've got a little bit of work to do after the show tonight, and then hopefully my furnace will be working just fine.
Well, it's only just begun, as that song goes. I mean, we're at the precipice
only
here.
Just begun to live. For us, it's we've only just begun to freeze, though. So
yeah, I mean, it is the beginning, but it's only to get worse. Only get worse. I know those Midwest feelings, those cold nights, the snowy caps. I can't wait for all of it. I love winter.
I know.
I'd be so depressed if I didn't have it.
I know, but still, an entire day at sitting hovering above barely above 40 with no heat in the house. I mean,
emotional damage.
It's been bad, but anyway, let's talk about the Broncos, shall we? So,
I mean, it's kind of same feelings when we talk about the Broncos this week, Johnny. I mean,
pretty cold.
It was. Twitter is on fire, and I have a theory as to why it is especially bad. If you've been surfing the web on Broncos Twitter and just Broncos social media in general here, there's a lot of things brewing. The Avalanche, for instance, suck really, really bad. There's incredibly historically bad vibes, and there is crossovers. So some of the fans, I think, are a little more sour on the Broncos than they would be.
Salty, not sweet.
Yeah. Bad stuff. Bad stuff happening in the air. Also, a bad Buffalo loss. There's just a lot of things.
Dude, to K-State. What?
Yeah. The Broncos, though, I just feel like the crowd, Broncos Country here, has been so negative this week for being so positive just a week before now. There's been a stark contrast, in my opinion.
It's been very stark. And there's trades. There's trades happening all over the
Lot of
NFL right
things.
now. We haven't heard a
Yeah.
damn thing about the Broncos yet.
Yep.
Which I mean, I think honestly at this point, from what we've seen, the Broncos would be stupid not to try to exercise something into a trade before the deadline.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Noel? Can you clarify? As
Well,
far
I
as
mean,
buyer or seller, do you
oh,
mean?
buyer
Ooh.
or
Oh.
seller at
Oh.
this point, buyer
Oh.
or seller. Listen,
Okay.
whether
There's
you
2
want to
different
say
things in that.
whether you're part of that camp that believes that the Broncos are actually in a better spot than everybody thinks they are right now, they're just still trying to kind of work their way into it, and you just kind of think that we need something to help us, kind of reach that pinnacle, that reach that point.
A
then
booster.
then we need to be buyers. But then of course, if you're also part of that camp that believes that right now this is still the rebuild, and maybe next year we need more capital in order to continue to build this team. So either way, right now I just want to hear some damn Broncos news. That's what I want.
Is there a loss in either way you go? Like, I feel like that's a win-win.
Yeah,
Or a
I mean, no,
lose-lose,
not
I
really.
guess,
You
but
can
they're
be
equal.
honestly, let's do both.
Not a big
Let's
difference.
let's do both. All right, let's go out. Let's get something, and let's get something, and let's give something. Like, let's do something, but make something happen. Don't just sit
Make
here.
a move.
Don't just sit here stagnant after what we saw this last Sunday, and be like, we're good. We're good. We're good the way we are. I like it.
I mean,
No, make something happen.
the most popular positional group I have heard as far as the demand from fan base would be tight end, Greg Dulcich, 2 games in a row, healthy scratch. Healthy scratch.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be our number 1. That's supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, no, he's not the guy. He's
Obviously.
He's Jake Butt with better hair. I'm serious, dude. I mean that you can think about it. Granted, there was a lot more. They were both injured. Both of them were injured when we drafted them. But we had hope. We had hope for both. And what happened? We got kicked in the butt. And pun intended. We got kicked in the butt, and it's just, I'm just saying he's great. He's Jake Butt with better hair.
I never thought I would pine for Noah Fant, but here I am saying, you know what? Noah Fant wasn't too bad.
Can we get Noah?
Surprisingly,
Can we get Noah, please? Like, put him on an arc, sail him this way. Like, no,
that's not a high bar here.
Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. No, no. I've been hearing the same thing. That and wide receiver. Is what I've been hearing. D-Rock saying, I feel like if we do get a tight end, he's going to be a bargain basement of talent.
Greg,
maybe
David Parsum. Is that David Parsum Jr.?
Yeah, Donald Parham. I think you should talk about.
I mean, we haven't seen a flash of him really at all.
Has he even been on our field once since we got him?
I don't believe.
He was really flashing last season. Like, why the hell aren't we seeing Donald Parham on the field?
I don't know.
There's that. So I mean, I don't know. But D-Rock also says, maybe I'm just a remedial sober Broncos maniac. But how was the first and third quarter? How was the first and third quarter so atrocious, but the fourth was so freaking good? I have some thoughts on this, and Jay, I was on the road on Sunday. I was literally traveling. I was driving across the country. I started on Sunday because I left Colorado Saturday, got all the way to Hays, Kansas, and my wife and I were like, no, we're stopping. So we ended up staying the night there and then getting back on the road, and I was driving from Hays, Kansas, all the way to Nashville, Tennessee in one day. That's not an easy drive, by the way.
No.
It is a very long drive. And, well, no, it wasn't in one day because we also hit some really major traffic on I-70 going from between Kansas City and St. Louis, where we sat almost still for like 3 or 4 hours, where by the time we got to the other side, I was like, nope, we are stopping and we are staying at another hotel. So it actually took 2 days. But anyway, Sunday during the game, I was traveling, watching the game in my vehicle. So you got to host, got to be the voice of the Broncos post game without me. But I tried to bring it up a little bit in the comments But it was a struggle being on the road. So I kind of have a thought as to why offensively, especially the fourth quarter brightened up.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Let's hear it.
well, on one hand, I've heard a lot of people saying that was garbage time, except that the Chargers kept their starters on the field almost the entire time.
Pretty
So,
fit
you know,
defenses in a
yeah,
schematical standpoint as well.
yes. But I will say this. I believe I honestly believe that that's when Sean Payton started letting Bo off the leash. Like, that's the thing is right now, I still believe in Sean Payton. I have a lot of, like, to answer Daniel's question right here. Are we worried about the future of Sean Payton after Sunday? No, not yet. I believe that there's still things to figure out. And one of those things is, he can, right now, Bo came out of college the most pro-ready quarterback in this draft. In general, he did. He had more experience. He was older and he had more experience than any of the other quarterbacks combined. I mean, with several of the quarterbacks combined, he had over 65 starts in college. He came out pro-ready. And we've seen that. We've seen the way he executes with his teammates on the sideline. We've
I was
seen
gonna say, you saw blunders first week versus Seattle. There were a couple questionable, like, ooh, you're forcing that. Like, probably shouldn't have thrown that ball. But other than the first week, I can't think of any like significant Bo Nix blunders. Like
not
that
really.
you are specifically saying, oh, damn, that's all on you, man.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he threw his first interception this last Sunday, which, by the way, not his fault. It was a tip.
Not
It
his
was a
fault.
tip ball.
Yep, not his fault.
So
at all.
So I'm with you. I don't believe that the problem is Bo. What I believe the problem is right now is that Bo is actually capable of running an offense, of calling an offense, and of literally leading the team on the field. But Sean Payton is still so stuck is a good word I would use. He is so stuck in this you're a rookie kind of mindset that
I don't even know that because I think it's a Sean Payton thing of his just mental confidence in his play calling and to have a quarterback that doesn't deviate from his play calls. Like that's what we saw as far as the big confrontation last is that Bo went outside of it. Yeah.
Do it my way or else.
Rock.
But that's what I'm talking about. Is that like he's continued, I have my little service dog, Copper. He's the best. I love him with all my heart. He's
official Nuggets.
The official Nuggets. Pupperino. Yeah. Everybody like Nuggets fans all over Denver know Copper. But I keep him when he's with me. He's on a leash and he is attached to my hip with about 3 feet of lead. And so he's walking at my side all the time because well, I mean, one is a service dog, it's the law. But two, because he needs to be led. He needs to be led with me. That's how it works. Now, Sean Payton is keeping Bo Nix on the exact same leash, man. Like he's got Bo right here at his hip, and he's like D-Rock said, do it my way or else. Now, when we saw them start playing hurry up, no huddle, all that, Bo was firing on all cylinders. That whole game, Bo was
totally redeem yourself.
Now, I'm not saying they need to play hurry up all the time because that's exhausting and it's impossible. But Sean Payton needs to let Bo get in there and call some audibles, call some plays. Be like, Coach, you call this play. I'm gonna call the next one. Or even just be like, okay, you know what? I know we're not in 2-minute drill right now, but why don't let's play no huddle for a set of downs. Just throw them.
You know what that sounds like, Johnny? That sounds like a younger coordinator that can play, in a play call system that can adapt and that can change and that is not in one specific mindset of flow. And that's not what old school play calling is like Sean Payton. Like they are far more conservative in their consistency of play calls. And it's just, it's the big question that was asked multiple times throughout this week is like, is anyone going to check Sean Payton? Is anyone going to take the play calling out of his hands? He's not going to voluntarily give it up.
I don't know. I don't know if we're at the point where it has to be taken from him yet, but I do think we're at the point where, say, maybe Greg and Carey, Walton Penner need to sit down with him and be like, "Look, coach, they're smart. They are smart people. They are very smart people. They run a multi-billion-dollar business. They are smart people. They need to sit down with him and be like,
"Listen, Sean Payton half, that was garbage, in my opinion."
It sucked. It absolutely did. Now, look, the Broncos did mount a comeback and literally had an opportunity, if not for one play made by, who was it? PJ Locke, where he really effed up and committed a penalty that ate the clock. If that penalty had not happened, we actually had a chance to win that game. We actually had a chance to make a miraculous, Elway era style comeback. It didn't happen. But again, you can't hope for that either, because too little too late. You got to play a full game. You can't just play fourth quarter. So I'm not insanely worried yet. I think that there's still a lot of potential, that there's still a lot of hope.
So let me just put this out there, and I'm just going to throw it out there. This is what I soaked in today for external voice. Right or wrong, this is a media outlet that I listen to for a multitude of things. Altitude Radio today.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Mosier in the morning said that he would rather see some Zach Wilson reps than what Bo Nix is producing right now with what is being supported with Bo Nix, basically putting blame on Bo Nix being a major issue for the first half, not necessarily Sean Payton. And I thought it to be very weird and obviously wrong and unsettling. But
it almost sounds like a Nick Wright take.
But Johnny, and take this for what it's worth, but they opened up text line and they did an official poll for that station about, would you like to see Zach Wilson reps this year? And over 50% were yes. Like that there is a considerable voice in Broncos Country that says this team is very underrated and should be playing very well, and the quarterback position is still not where it needs to be to our standard.
Well, and the thing is,
that's a valid thing for the standard of our franchise.
Here's the thing, though, and you can crucify me after I say this if you want, Jay, but I think the same people that are calling for that right now are the same people that before the season started said, "Yeah, we'll give him a year to get his sea legs. We'll give him a year to develop, this, that, and the other." But now 6 games in, they're like, no, carry him up the hill, nail him to the cross. He's done. Zach Wilson time. No, listen, it's the same people. I promise you, the same dang people that 6 weeks ago were okay with the idea of this is a rebuilding season, and this is going to be the season where where he develops into the quarterback of the future. Now 6 weeks later, because he's been on the field and we won a few games in very handy fashion, by the way, they're like, now they're ready to string him up from the in front of the courthouse.
Clickbait James Marilat today, or not today, but this week, said that Russell Wilson with the same team would be 6-0, and said that Bo Nix is the problem. And
no, listen,
there's a considerable amount of people that shout out the fact, Johnny, of that. Okay, all the games thus far, Bo Nix has played stellar in about 6 quarters. And the other quarters have been just god awful, polar opposite. And he has been very hot and cold. I will say that. There hasn't been consistency out of him, but obviously you wouldn't expect that from a rookie. We've seen the flash that we want in a rookie.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
But
you know what? Here's me. I feel like this entire episode is going to be Bo Nix centric, but that's okay. Here's you know me, Jay. I constantly reference military. I constantly make military references because I was Army. I'm going to talk about artillery. All right, when you're trying to zero in an enemy, okay, with artillery, the spotter is looking through their scope, and they estimate a range. They get their direction right. Then they estimate a distance and range, and then they call for fire. Artillery lobs around. It hits. The spotter is watching. It was 100 meters too far. So now he give or take whatever, right? So now the spotter goes back, so many again on distance, calls for fire. It now hits in front of the enemy, but it doesn't hit him. He's still watching, and he continues to walk the rounds in as the spotter having the artillery, aim in until finally, boop, 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 bam, right in the middle, right on top of the enemy. That's literally how it's done. I took a whole class on it. My roommate was a mortarman. He'll tell you that that's exactly how you do it. And that's what we're seeing right now. Okay? We're seeing moments where the rounds are falling with Bo Nix, where the rounds are falling short. So then and then we're seeing moments where the rounds are are going too far. Where he's just hitting on, where he's on fire, he's cold. He's on fire, he's cold. We're going to continue to walk it back until boom. Now we have a balanced quarterback. He's a rookie in his 6th game.
Yeah, but what you just said, he should be more advanced as a rookie because he played so much in college. He is not a raw talent. No one would say he's a raw talent.
I would not say that he's raw, but I will say that no matter who you are, the NFL is a different place than college. So even becoming out of college, yeah, there is, and we have to. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You can hate me. I don't care. I speak my mind. That's what I do on this show. You can hate me for it. Bo Nix, we need to be patient with him, and I'm not the only one that thinks so.
Are you serious right now?
Bro? There was
Are you serious right now, bro?
I'm so serious right now, bro. Listen, that I write for Predominantly Orange from time to time. A great article was released on there about why Broncos Country needs to be patient with Bo Nix. And that was this week.
I did see that.
Did you read it?
I didn't read all of it. No.
Read all of it. It's a phenomenal article. Written by a dear friend of our show, Mr. Kenny Booker, KB82. Oh,
yeah.
So
I guess that is a mentionable for sure.
That is a very mentionable. So go on over to Predominantly Orange. Check out the article by Kenny Booker as to why Broncos Country needs to be patient with Bo Nix, because the points he makes are fantastic. Yeah. And I agree with them wholeheartedly.
I do trust him a lot.
I do too. That being said, let's get back to the comments for here for just a second. We got Mr. Daniel Miller popping in. After Sunday, I got really worried about the future of VJ and Sean Payton. If we don't win Thursday against the Panthers, I think Sean Payton's job should be in question. Ooh, not there yet, bud. Not there yet. It's they gave up way too much to get him as our head coach to fire him this soon.
Sean Payton has our franchise by the balls for at least 2 more years, in my estimation.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. VJ is still a stellar defensive coordinator. Stellar. And and here's the thing. We going back, we saw where it happened in the first half. Our defense was abysmal. Second half, during halftime, adjustments were made. And they looked good again. Not as good as we had seen like in the previous 3 weeks or the whole season, really, for that matter, for the most part, but better. And what we saw was a deer in the headlights moment for VJ, where
his prized possession's gone.
Yeah.
Someone just walked up and just jacked the best thing he's ever had in his whole career.
Yes.
And he had no idea what to do.
Well, and actually nobody jacked it. He did, that his prized possession did it to himself, really, if you really think about it. He bounced his head off the ground making a tackle. That's his own mistake right there. Not that I'm not crucifying PS2 for that. It happens, okay? But
you blaming him?
No, but yeah, I am, okay? It's your own damn fault. You bounced your, he played basketball with his head, okay?
Oh no!
But
we suck again.
but about this, right? Like what we saw was a VJ's deer in the headlights moment. He's been calling his defense to perfection all season long.
He
But
has.
that defense is only possible up to this point because of the player that PS2 is. Without PS2, you can't make those calls. You can't. So all of a sudden, boom, he's tapped out. He's gone. He's in the locker room. What are we? And VJ's like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
And he got scared. Okay, he got scared. He started. Okay, well, I can't be rushing 6, 5, and 6 as much as I do, and
Let's go play zone. Like, just so everything's in front of us. We can't let any home run go.
yeah. So they throw him into the zone, and the Chargers eat us alive for it.
It's chicken shit defense,
And
is what.
well, it is.
zone
But
is.
then you saw it. You saw it post halftime. He went in the locker room and he sat down with his guys. He's like, "Okay, guys, taking a breath. I'm sorry. I did. I got a little freaked out, but I'm good now. Maybe he took, I don't know, maybe he took a sip of scotch or something to calm his nerves. I don't know, but he did something. And in the second half, we saw more man coverage again, getting a little bit more back to our roots defensively. And we saw the Broncos start to make the plays defensively that we expect of them. VJ is not going anywhere right now. Okay. He is still a stellar offense or defensive coordinator. Sorry. And will continue to be so.
And
he just had to figure out how to call a defense without PS2.
I refuse to believe the people that say that VJ is going to get a head coaching opportunity. Nobody can look that man in the face and say like he is ready to go to be a leader of men.
Absolutely not.
Not the guy. He is a destined coordinator. No one should give him a chance. That's just
and
not my opinion.
Who knows?
Just,
in a few years, someone might. In a few years, someone might. But the thing is, like, he's only what? Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think they'll want to see like a third or a fourth year of stellar defensive play calling before anybody's going to be ready to pull that trigger. But it's not happening this season. Excuse me.
We got Jim Leonard. No matter what, Jim Leonard is a terrific coach that I'm very excited to have, and I hope we keep. He would be our defensive coordinator if VJ left. I truly believe that.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, if you think about it, and we're gonna keep on rolling, but if you think about it, there is no singular player on this team. Really, there's not many teams, honestly, in my opinion. There's a few who have such a stellar individual, one stellar individual who is so good that if he comes out of the game, your entire team, offense and defense, is shaken to the core.
Yep.
And that's what we saw from PS2. You might have that in a few other places with guys like, I don't know, help me out here, Jay. Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes comes out of the game for the Chiefs, boom, it's done. It's over with. Game over. If, give me a wide receiver.
49ers, there's a lot that goes with, I mean, say Kyle Shanahan had a heart attack. I guess he runs that entire team. It's not one individual player, but there are literally one singular entity that completely controls a lot of franchises. Sometimes it's a quarterback, sometimes it's an OC, sometimes it's
not
the
here.
HC.
And it's not in Denver. It's a cornerback.
Yep.
And the thing, and that's the thing too. Another thing that people haven't really talked about either, and I'm going to talk about it right now, is the mental game. Okay, and that I've heard no one discuss the mental game on podcasts or radio programs in the days that have followed Sundays, or in the last 2 days since that blowout defeat.
Well, I remember your comment on post game. I mean, your comment on post game basically kind of said that was that the momentum we got last week from the PS2 interception was very similar and eerie to the deflateness of confidence and momentum that we got from the injury this week.
Exactly. Like it's like the moment that you see the guy who undoubtedly he's a captain, right? He is undoubtedly the best player on your team. On either side of the ball. He is just the best player on the team. He is well liked, well loved, and he literally has the eyes and ears of everyone in the organization. He goes down, and it's like Tom Brady came in and got his hand on your balls. It just
It's a
deflates
no for me, bro.
out. Like the ball, the air is let out of the ball. It's deflated. The momentum we'd built in the previous 3 weeks at that moment was gone. It was just gone. And everybody offensively, even though he doesn't play on the offensive side of the ball, those guys, he's got such an effect on everyone on the team with it. When he goes out of the game, everybody's like, "Oh shit."
I think it was a major impact, obviously, but I think just as equal of a impact was Vance Joseph's response
Oh
was
yeah.
to completely change schematically and not just say next man up. We continue on with our same scheme for everyone else on the defense. But no,
Well, and here's the thing. I think VJ could have mixed it up a bit. And
I
it'd
don't
be,
like the response of going straight to zone, straight to
no,
prevent defense the rest of the game until
no,
we know where PS2 is health-wise. I think
yeah,
that's the wrong call.
it is the wrong call. And that's the thing. He could if he had like, okay, here's the thing. The man, constant man for this team is possible again only because of PS2. So
True.
he's
I get
out.
it.
You're gonna have to play some zone. You're gonna have to, but you got to be mixing it up a little bit. And VJ just dropped it all into zone. And again, deer in the headlights moment, he freaked out. He panicked. And then he went to the locker room, he sat down, he took a sip of coffee, or he, took a hit of something. He calmed down and he was like, okay, all right. And then the second half, we did see that. He did start to mix it up a little bit. And we saw the ship begin to right itself at that point. So, now he's got 4 days. It is possible to clear concussion protocols in 4 days.
He's not
But
playing
it's not.
Thursday.
I know.
Can
I'm
almost
saying
guarantee
it is possible. It it is possible. I don't think even if he did, pardon me, pardon me, my bad lungs. Even if he did clear concussion protocol, I don't think they'll play him.
No.
And so VJ has 4 days now to put together his plan of how to execute a defense without Pat Surtain. I think it'll be better.
What my fear is that Sean Payton has been game planning for this specific game for a long, long, long time. So I just have a fear that we're going to go into this game with a preconceived notion as to how we are going to schematically play this game on both sides of the ball, and it doesn't matter situationally what it means. This is a Super Bowl for Sean Payton. This next game specifically.
Okay.
And on a short week, there's just a lot of question marks with the injuries that we conveniently have at this exact same time. I'm kind of freaked out, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
As bad as New Orleans is.
Yeah. Well, as bad as New Orleans is, they did put up 28 points against the Bucs. Now the Bucs destroyed them.
7 of those was a punt return, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Shaheen.
But still, 21 points is far more than us. Like, in an average sense, like even with their backups, they were putting up 3 touchdowns a game. So, like, I'm a little freaked out, to be quite honest. I don't want to be embarrassed, and I don't want the slide to continue here with our vibes, because our vibes are, like I said in the beginning of the show, I think a little farther down than they should be. This is we're a good team.
Here's what I'm going to say about that. Okay, Broncos Country, there is no such thing as lukewarm with the fans of this team. Now, there are for a lot of teams. This team, it doesn't exist. It's either you're boiling hot as a fan or you're ice cold. I try to keep the burner on all the time, and I try to stay as close to boiling as I can at all times. A lot of people don't. I mean, for crying out loud, I can't even tell you how many freaking posts I saw on Facebook this week in like Broncos fan groups of people saying not a fan anymore. And I literally put up the gif of bye, Felicia. Like, you know. But that being said, again, we are there's no lukewarm. There never is with Broncos country. And D-Rock says it perfectly here. Dude, Broncos fans are a tad bit dramatic. Just step back from the elevator shaft and breathe. I know we have PTSD and things look like last year, the year before, etc. But folks, we're good. Thank you, D-Rock. You took the words right out of my mouth as someone who actually has real life combat related PTSD. I promise you, we're going to be okay. Just breathe.
Oh my God!
Yeah, preach, brother, preach. Oh, I love it. Get the hands up. Yeah, brother D-Rock. You know, like he absolutely says it. He gives us that. He gives us a salute. I love it, buddy. Thank you. But the way I'm seeing it, hot, cold, whatever, the Broncos are going to be okay. Again, everybody over romanticizes when we're successful. 3 games in a row, we were killing it. We were on a roll, and everybody's like,
on the playoffs.
Hey, look over there! I can see the Super Bowl. Like, look, dude. Okay, we've never been that we haven't been seeing that at all. All right, you gotta, everybody gets all hyped up when we're successful, and then as soon as we have a bad game, they're like, oh god dang it, I knew it, you all suck, and I'm done, and I'm
well, it's because it's been that long. All right, it would be acceptable to be that way, or not acceptable to be that way if, say, we were 4 years into a bad losing streak and, like, we were on the precipice of still that, but, like, it's been so long.
It has.
We're primed. We're a fan base that shouldn't deserve to have this sort of lag.
Just see the old lady in the movie Titanic. It's been 84 years. like, yeah, it has been a long time. It has been. And maybe, I don't know.
So long ago.
It really is. But here's the thing. Maybe it might just be me, you guys. Maybe I'm the only one who's capable of insane levels of patience, trying to, just knowing that the time will come. And once it does, I will be rewarded for my patience. But
that's what I thought with Drew Lock.
Yeah, I did too. Hey, again, you know this. Jay, I was on Broadway in Nashville when we drafted him as a Mizzou fan. I was screaming like a little girl, jumping up and down when we drafted Drew Lock at the draft.
I guess that's, Johnny, why I brought it up earlier, is that even though I vehemently disagree with it, it did give a shred of thought in my head of like, wait a second, what if Bo Nix really is like Drew Lock here? And we are overreacting of like, this is our franchise quarterback. Maybe this is a guy that's going to literally survive in an NFL franchise for a year and a half. And then he's going to be a backup for the rest of his career. Like, what if that happens? Do you think that's likely, looking at what we've seen thus far in Bo?
Likely, no. Likely, no. Possible, yes.
Things scare me right now as a Broncos fan in the quarterback room. And I just wish we had a clear-cut answer that was never on the fence. And I feel like if we had a top 5 pick and we dedicated it to that, then we would have gone with it as a fan base. But like, we got the 6th quarterback picked in the draft of that year. And we just have a feeling that we've gotten cheated again at that position thus far. Because we see Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels is a superstar.
Okay.
Caleb Williams looks as if as well. Like, he's looked a lot better of late.
Okay.
Better than Bo.
I will concede that point. However, if you watch, what are they getting to do that Bo's not?
Anything they want.
Exactly. Sean Payton needs to start trusting his quarterback. That's the problem.
You're right.
When he lets him off the leash, the Broncos cook. But then Sean puts the But then Sean calls him back in from he screams across the dog park.
whoa.
Bo, come here, Bo. Bo comes
Whoa,
running
whoa,
over and he
whoa.
flips that leash back on. He's like, "Okay, sit, boy, right here." Right,
like
you
you
watch
tone
those
it down,
games.
Bo.
Yeah, you watch those games. Jalen Daniels, Caleb Williams, except they're getting preliminary play calls from their coaches, but then they're getting on the field and they're audibling to their heart's content.
You're very
They
right.
are getting to read the field and make the play call that they want, that they see as successful, and it's working. Bo, on the other hand, last week had to get in an argument with his head coach on the sidelines because he got berated for changing the play call on a play that was successful. It was successful. It's just that the wide receiver didn't haul in the ball, which big shout out to Troy Franklin for redeeming himself in some way this week.
Hey, can we give a slight pause here? If we're going to, go squirrel here, dude, Franklin has stepped up in a major way over the past 3 weeks of getting actually inserted into this offense. And I would say in a week-over-week fashion, we have seen massive improvements from him. We have seen uptick of targets. We have seen, some bad, but again, like I said before, the drop in the end zone that he had that was a massive blunder that everybody points to, he only got the opportunity to drop that ball because he was so skilled to be open and have the speed set that he has to be that open.
And that kind of thing, we will see more of it. If Sean trusts his quarterback to call the play as he sees it. Now,
he's played well.
He has. Both of them have. This rookie class is actually a lot better than people are giving it credit for.
And this is a whole different discussion, Johnny, that we need to have on this pod at some point. Audric Estime is back in the mix. And Sean Payton says, press conference, I want to see more of him. Someone floated out, and I'm not going to say the name, but Javonte Williams might be a healthy scratch at some point this season. Because Audric Estime is the future.
He had that breakout 2 weeks ago against the Raiders. It was great to see. It was great to be there for that. And then he was milquetoast this last week.
Terrible.
This last Sunday. And so, I mean, we'll see what happens there. Daniel popping in. He says, should we be worried about how many Sean Payton specials we do during the game, which is the 3 and out and a punt? It has to end.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, it's concernable, but again, I think it changes. It all changes if Sean trusts his quarterback, because he trusted him in the fourth quarter to play hurry up, no huddle offense, and this team cooked. We made up 16 points in a quarter and came very near to winning the game. At least very near to having the potential to win the game. That happened because he trusted him. He's got to start doing so. He's got to start saying to himself, okay, I get he's a rookie, but
Johnny, can I ask a question? Maybe this is a dumb thing for me that I just don't know, but in all of the evidence and interviews that we've had with Drew Brees, who is, we always reflect upon the prototypical Sean Payton quarterback of what he wants.
Yes.
Did Drew Brees ever have autonomy to change Sean Payton play calls? Was that ever a thing in New Orleans?
Yes, it was. But it only came once Sean Payton trusted him and let him do his thing. And it did. It happened. Drew Brees is a first ballot, an undisputed will be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
And again, there was a time when he first got into New Orleans after coming off the Chargers and being, looking like you said, a career backup, a future career backup. That after he worked with Sean Payton for a while, and that even he struggled in his first, half a season with Sean Payton. Once Sean Payton started to trust him, however, and he was putting in play calls, and sometimes those play calls, worked great, and other times Drew Brees changed the play and it worked out great. That's when it worked for him. And so again, it all comes down to Sean Payton's trust of Bo Nix. It all comes down to that for me. You know, I think we will see a complete, maybe not a 180, but we will see a dramatic change in the success of this offense once that happens. Sean's just very stubborn. He is a very stubborn guy.
That he is.
And we knew that when we traded for him and when we signed him to be our head coach. We knew how stubborn he is. His stubbornness, his arrogance is legendary.
It is.
It was not news. It's not like he came here and we're like, "Oh God, what happened? Who are you? Why are you like this?" No, we knew. We knew at the beginning when we were recruiting, trying to recruit him to be our head coach. You knew that his arrogance and that his stubbornness is legendary. So quit acting surprised about it. I'm not. I promise you I'm not surprised about it. It'll get there. It's just a matter of, Sean Payton doesn't trust easily. Doesn't trust anybody easily.
Well, I mean, we're about to see literally Sean Payton's best shot because he is so egotistical and maniacal, in my opinion, that like this is his Super Bowl for the year. For him to go back to New Orleans for the very first time, this means so much to Sean Payton.
It does. We'll see how it goes.
See a different game plan. I feel like we're going to see more.
D-Rock,
finally.
D-Rock continuing to like try to back Broncos Country up from the ledge. How long had the Lions been bad? As a diehard Broncos fan, I say we're good, folks. Just unplug the toaster and enjoy the bath. Like,
hey, I'm a little touchy on the Lions because they just beat the crap out of the Cowboys this week.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Tim Patrick had a game and a half for them. So it's a little touchy of like, oof, our guy.
Yeah,
like,
it hurts. It makes you sad to see TP Streets up there doing his thing so well there.
Doing very well.
The thing is, he got to go to a better situation for him.
Did.
I mean, they are a Super Bowl ready franchise right now, and he gets to go and be part of that. Good for him. But I am salty about it as well. But you're right, though. I mean, there have been many, many franchises that have been terrible for decades. We haven't even seen it. We have not. Okay, knocking on wood. We have not even crested a decade yet since our last Super Bowl. Okay, but there are franchises. There are franchises that have been bad for 30 years or more. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, definitely.
Look, the Lions went like 40 years. And
it's just
and the Browns, even the Browns, they look like crap right now, but even they, waited decades. They were the joke of the AFC for decades. It happens.
We haven't had great leadership from a long-term standpoint. And if anything, I hope we just continue to see consistency in our front office and our game plan, because that's what builds good teams. And I feel like we're just getting to the point where we have some sort of depth at some positions, but we're still far off from
continuity.
Having a good team. Like,
yeah.
It's still a rebuilding year, everyone.
Yeah. And look at the other teams that just
surprise.
And it's not just the Broncos. Look at other teams in the last decade that have gone a year or two with the head coach and then switched it and then switched it and then switched it. Look at the Panthers. Look at the Commanders. Granted, they got Jalen Daniels now, but up to this point, look at them and look at how. Look what happens. Yeah. Look what happens when you keep, like you said, Jay, consistency. When you don't keep any continuity. Players having to constantly. I mean, look at poor Cortland Sutton for us, having to relearn offense after offense after offense after offense. You can't be successful if you can't continue to execute.
Think of all the quarterbacks he's had.
Yes, it's
Cortland
disgusting.
Like 9 lives, it seems like.
And that maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm still so high. Okay with being so high on Bo Nix and not being that guy going. Let me see some Zach Wilson reps. I'm not there yet. Because again, you go throw in Zach Wilson now. Now we're on our what? 2,301? Our 2,301st quarterback? since 2015? Like, no. Consistency. We've got to get there. You got to let dudes build on it. I understand Broncos country. I understand that we are a franchise that believes in success, that knows success, and that we want it. We crave it. But patience, the patience will pay off. And when it does, oh God, it's going to be so good. I mean, I might have to change my pants.
Well, you heard my comments on postgame. Jim Harbaugh switched pants in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
he
he did.
Had to change his drawers. We missed on a great opportunity there to really.
If we'd won,
expunge a great.
We played so good. We made Jim Harbaugh shit his pants.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have been great. Oh, belly laugh. Oh, that would have been funny.
Two big swings of this Thursday night game on a short night. I just want to hit upon. We have the Palchevsky right tackle situation where McGlinchey is technically able to come back, and we haven't heard that he's going to practice or actually come back. But if Palchevsky's good to go, I would say Palchevsky starts. And you have the exact same scenario at center. If Wattenberg's good to go, he's good to go, right? He's the starter, right?
He's the starter. He undisputed. Look, Alex Forsyth, great hope. Great hope that his familiarity with Bo Nix was going to be a recipe for success. So far, it hasn't been. And
it hasn't been.
Again, you're absolutely right about Palcho. I mean, let's just be honest. Palchevsky came in the game and Mike McGlinchey, all of us were like, why does McGlinchey even have a job right now? So, if they're ready to go, you got to play them.
I agree.
So let's see. Mundungus pops in going, PS2 gets hurt and goes out, and they still don't play Mathis.
Okay. All right, Johnny, would you like to describe my prediction, or shall I break it down?
God, please don't. People? No, please, because I think you're gonna get wrote. I think everybody's they're gonna our fans are gonna send the meat wagon to your house to take you to the psych ward. Dude, please don't do it.
It is a branch shaking type of take. It's really let's shake
ridiculous.
Up the pile here. Shake up the pile. Guys, you do realize Damari Mathis is a full participant. Ready to go, guys. He wasn't ready to go, Mundungus. Thank you for your 2 cents last game. But when PS2 got hurt, we didn't have a plan. We've already gone over that. Vance Joseph had no idea what to do. So the last thought he had was to insert his best defensive player. Okay, let's all.
Oh, stop! Oh, dude, you're. Oh God, no! Oh no!
But Damari Mathis is going to have a hell of a game because he's going to get first team reps. PS2's not going to be ready to go. There's no way he clears concussion protocol on a short week. No way. He didn't practice today. He's still a DNP. So, there's no way. So, Riley Moss and Jaquan McMillian and Damari Mathis are your 3-prong that's going to play your most snaps.
No, but what was your actual take, Jay, that you sent out? What was it? Please.
Well, I mean, Damari Mathis is going to take PS2's slotting in a technical sense, I think, this week. You keep Riley Moss where he is. And so because of that, they're going to test him. And so Damari Mathis is going to come away with 4 interceptions this next game. You can't convince me otherwise.
You're out of your damn mind. Literally, dude, seek help. Seek help or send a box. Listen, at this point, I think I'm shocked that Damari Mathis doesn't have a restraining order against you from sending too many boxes of chocolates and flowers to his house.
He should be sending me fruit baskets.
Oh God! Yeah, you are, and I don't know why. I don't hate the guy, but
in mind the design is
right. Mundungus
Lincoln
and
Park
my peers. Mundungus, and my beard is going to turn into cotton candy while I sleep.
Well, you should only be so lucky, Mundungus.
Yeah. And he does make a point, by the way. Yeah, he was ready. He was suited up on the sideline.
Yeah, but he wasn't ready mentally. He didn't get any practice. He didn't get any suit up.
Okay.
Like, he wasn't ready to go. He wasn't in the game plan.
If he is the defensive, the defensive Dalai Lama, like you seem to think he is, he's ready to go all the time, bud.
So, like, I mean, you owe me at least a Twinkie or some sort of delicious treat if Damari Mathis gets an interception this next game.
Oh, dude,
because
I will send
get
you
the opportunities. They're gonna pick on him, obviously. Like, why wouldn't you pick on him? He's brand new into the lineup.
Yeah. No, listen. If he gets an interception, Jay, I will send you a family-sized box of oatmeal cream pies. Like, I'm just saying. No, you know what? No, you know what? No, you know what? I'm gonna send you a family-sized box of Swiss cake rolls. There it is. Jay's horniness for Little Debbie. It's legendary, and I will pay up. If it happens, I'll pay up. But but see the take that I was actually wanting you to share is what you said in the group chat that made me like Duck Duck Goose and Mathis was not Goose. That's funny. No, the take I actually wanted you to share, because I think everybody's gonna just explode in the comments about it, was when you were like, he's gonna take PS2 slot for this week, and then he's never gonna give it back.
Never gonna give it back.
You're out of your damn.
You not have that man on the field.
No, you're out of your mind. You're insane. You're insane.
Where's Blitz when you need him?
Well, where is Blitz? Blitz hasn't been here at all tonight. I miss him.
Yep. He's the guy that usually says, you know what? No, F you and your Mathis.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, and then D-Rock, dude, that catch. Come on. So damn good, make you want to smack your resurrected grandma. Well, mine and Jay's grandma is still alive, D-Rock, so take that. But man, I don't know. It's been I have a lot of feelings, but I will continue to be who I always am. Who am I? I am the eternal optimist. I have to be, because it's so much of Broncos country. They literally, it's like they're on a freaking seesaw, dude. It's like, yeah. Me, I'm like, no, I'm right here.
You have to earn optimism for me as a sports fan. Like, for me as a Nuggets fan, I am an optimist, and I am optimistic no matter what anyone tells me.
Oh, buddy, I'm so pumped about this season.
They have earned that optimism. Now, what can you say honestly that the Broncos have earned as far as your trust or optimism? That's if I'm on the fence, I'm going to lean towards, well, you're probably not making the best decision because you thus far haven't. So
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
It's different. And I even give that same benefit of the doubt to the Avalanche. Nuggets and Avalanche are in the same boat for me. But like the Broncos, I need to see it. Same with the Buffaloes, honestly. I need to see it. Let's go.
Didn't see that coming, did you? Huh?
Nope. Well, I mean, I did, but I didn't.
Challenge accepted.
So, no, look, I will always remain our optimist, because somebody has to, or else this whole thing, this podcast, this network, all of it, we fall apart if somebody doesn't keep the lights on, and to do so, I have to continue to be that. No, we're not talking about it. We don't need to. All right, fine.
Bruh.
D-Rock, the Lakers has Darth and Luke. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, Luke in this situation is a toddler playing with a rattle. And he has not yet earned his lightsaber. Thank you. But like, I'm sorry. That's the truth. And Darth Vader, he's only got a little bit left in his, he's only got a little bit left of the Force, man, before he sits the bed.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Yes, I am. But D-Rock, yeah, a golden one. Yeah, only because his daddy bought it for him. Anyway, I'm sorry. I will never, ever, 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 ever like LeBron James. Ever.
Yeah, he's literally the worst.
He could come to the Denver Nuggets and I'd be like, get the fuck off my court. Like, I don't want you here. Like, I hate LeBron James so much, and I always will.
Agree.
So,
if you're watching the starting five on Netflix, it is embarrassing to watch LeBron in any film he gets on that, any light. Anthony Edwards looks better than him. LeBron is just so awkward. Much like
here's the thing.
This new starting quarterback, Russell Wilson, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very similar.
I'm still having PTSD flashbacks right now of being in the stands for Game 7 against the Wolves last season. Anthony Edwards.
So that's episode.
Anthony
9.
Edwards is incredible.
Episode 9 of the Netflix series will absolutely crush your heart if you're a Nuggets fan. It is absolutely brutal. I do not recommend it because it is they relive Game 7 like in detail, and Anthony Edwards is on mic for everything.
I was 4. You remember, Jay, because I took you to Game 5, and we were only 14 rows back from the bench. Game 7, I was 4 rows from the bench. I could smell Aaron Gordon's sweat.
It was it was soul crushing. I'm still not okay after that.
I'm not either. I'm not either. As a fan who was in those stands at that time, dude, like to look around that arena and just see the looks of sheer just devastation on the faces of our fan base. It was painful. But you know what? Russell Westbrook, he is a fire under the ass of this team. And I have high hopes for this season for us. I really, really do. So, and that actually gives me a chance to say, hey, guys, be paying attention because in the next month or so, maybe 2, the Not Your Toddler's Nuggets podcast will debut on Orange and Blue Network for the Nuggets fans. Hosted by these 2 guys because, we are the true resident Nuggets fans. But it's what we'll do. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a good time. So I'm currently working on a little bit of some graphics and logo ideas and playing around with some intro video stuff for it. And as soon as all that's ready, dude, I'm ready when you are, Jay. But
hopefully it's a good season.
Hopefully. Now, that being said, guys, I think we've kind of exhausted ourselves tonight, man. Like we didn't even do our segments. We had 2 segments planned. We're not even doing them right now. D-Rock says he'll be in attendance and then he adds a little devil. It means he's just going to be there to talk massive amounts of crap, which is okay. Well, we love you. We welcome it. We love you, D-Rock. What are you doing?
Oh, no, nothing.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I feel like we've kind of exhausted ourselves tonight. We didn't even get to our segments, but we had a great show. This was a fun show. And there was a lot to be said. And I feel like we kind of said it all. Broncos take on the Saints on Thursday Night Football on the road in New Orleans in 2 days. So, guys, please make sure that you jump on with us pre-game for the Get Your Bucked Game Day show. It's going to be a blast 1 hour before game time on Thursday night. And then jump on over and watch The Neighborhood, hosted this week by yours truly, where we'll be watching the game with you. We'll be talking, laughing, making fun of each other, doing play-by-play as we go through The Neighborhood. And then, of course, after the game, don't forget to jump on and watch the Buck Your Feelings post-game show hosted by that guy. Oh, wait, are you doing it this week? You are doing it this week, yeah?
Yep.
All right. So you get two shows with me and then 1 show with him as the host. I'll probably stay on and do the post game with him. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. D-Rock says, be there or be square. He also gives us a big red heart. I love you too, you beautiful. That being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get ready to roll it on out of here. If you have not already and you're watching this on MHRT Network, please jump on over to Orange and Blue Network. Like, subscribe, share, comment on YouTube, X, Facebook. Go ahead and subscribe to listen to the audio versions of our podcasts wherever you find your favorites. And then conversely, jump on over to MHRT Network if you haven't already and like, subscribe, share, comment on YouTube, X, Facebook, Twitch, and MHRT's even on Instagram. Show us the love, guys, because we love you and we really want to continue to grow and build this family. We appreciate it. We are excited. Regardless of how we're feeling right now, how deep we are in our feels from Sunday, I'm still excited for Thursday because it's still Broncos football. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here and just leave it with a big go Broncos. Bye, guys. We'll see you Thursday.
Orange and blue, we're here for you. Talking Broncos all day through. No stopping us, we're on the loose. Come join the crew, no bad news. Podcast vibes so fresh and true. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Catching up on all that we knew. Hit play, let the episodes accrue. Nothing rhymes with